Hey everyone, it's Jed Joling with eXp Realty here in Southern Oregon, and I'm here to bring you a Southern Oregon market update on what our real estate market is currently doing. It's October 2nd today. We are through September. We'll have some more September stats next week or the following, but right now we're going to focus on what's happened this last week and what the overall picture is moving into the fall. So between Jackson and Josephine counties right now, we have 1,283 actively listed single-family residences on the market. Now that's up 14% from where we were a year ago this same day or this same week. Last week we had 98 new listings hit the market, 91 went pending, 71 closed, and 35 off the market due to expired or canceled listing contracts. In comparison to the 4-week average with where we're at there, we were up 4.25 this last week on the new listings, down 1.25 on the pending listings, and down almost 9 on the closed listings. Now, if we take the same week last year and compare it to this week this year, we are set up 17% on the new listings count this year, up 1% on the pending count, but down 24% on the close count. So we're seeing less closes in comparison to the same week last year. Out of the 98 new listings from this last week, 16 of those are already pending sale, so a little over 16% of those. And right now, our current inventory level is at 3.7 months. And we're more than likely going to see that number slide a little lower as we get into the winter. Not as many people are looking to list their homes in the fall and in the winter, but there are still people shopping, so we tend to go a little bit lower on our inventory. And in fact, we peaked on our number of active listings about 4 weeks ago in the beginning of September. So we're going to see those numbers slide down until we come into next year. Mortgage rates right now. So today, the national average for a 30-year fixed conventional mortgage is at 6.25%, and the FHA is at 5.76%. In comparison to where those were a year ago, the conventional was at 7.61%, FHA was at 7.08%. So we're seeing a rather large difference of over 1.25% from where we were a year ago. And we're going to break that down in a minute, what that looks like in a monthly payment. But we are heading into the fall. We are in the fall, heading into the winter here soon. Activity is beginning to slow. We see it in the numbers, and every day, just being in the business, I'm seeing it slow. But we are still carrying good numbers for what this time of the year is. There are potentially people waiting for the rates to drop more before they jump back into the market, or they're seeing that we've already dropped a little bit and they're hoping maybe for a little bit more before the end of the year, or looking to buy beginning of next year. It's very possible that we will see these rates come down a little bit more before the end of the year, but that's all going to depend on the economic data, what the 10-year Treasury bond is doing, what the Fed does with the Fed funds rates. They already made that 0.5 point cut in September, and of course, the markets are hoping for more than that before the end of the year. And it's possible, probably not very possible, that we're going to get another 0.5 point, but maybe 1/4 point is definitely a possibility. Difference in a payment for the interest rates where they are today and where they were a year ago. So in this scenario, we're going to say it's a $400,000 home and the buyer is putting down 20%. For the moment, we're going to keep insurance and taxes out of the equation. So at 6.25% on a $400,000 home with 20% down, that monthly payment is going to look like $1,970 before your taxes and insurance. And let's just say taxes and insurance are roughly $3,500 for the year, so that's about $290 a month. So overall, you'd be looking at about $2,261. Now, on a 7.6% interest rate on a $400,000 home with 20% down, before taxes and insurance, that monthly payment is going to be $2,260. So the difference there between payments is roughly $290 before you take into account the taxes and insurance. And so, if you add the taxes and insurance to that previous rate of 7.6% a year ago, you're looking at a payment of $2,550. So a difference between these rates just being about 1.25, a little bit more than 1.25% difference, is $290. So essentially $300 in difference. Of course, we're all hoping that the rates will come down a little bit more and I assume that they would, just based on what the markets are going to do as we come into this next year, as inflation continues to cool, is our hope. But like the Fed, every meeting they're going to take the economic data, look at it, decide what to do from there. But I just wanted to lay that out there so that people understand what does a 1.25% difference look like when it comes down to reflecting on a monthly payment. So, call it about $300. So that's about $3,600 a year in a difference in the budget for the mortgage. So this is all I have for today. As always, feel free to reach out to my cell phone, 541-761-7770. If you have questions, comments, you're looking to buy, you're looking to sell, you want a market evaluation on your home, just because you're curious, or maybe you have some future plans and you need to have a rough idea of what your home value is. And of course, any other questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting me, and we will catch up with you later. Thanks.